What I mean, can you expand on that thought?
Ron DeSantis' team, in order to smear Donald Trump, ran fake images of him kissing and hugging Fauci alongside real images and then wrote real life Trump over the top.
Right.
And it's one thing to play politics, which I despise. When you get someone being like, Nancy Pelosi voted against this act. And it's like the Saving Puppies Act, but it's actually a bill that like cuts taxes for oil companies. Or the inverse where it's like, insert Republican voted for whatever. I despise all of that. But actually fabricating images, shrinking them down and placing them alongside real images and then writing real life Trump on it.
Can you pull up the image so I can see it?
Yeah. So, I mean, is that kind of the core of your, would you say as of now, if you were to vote today, you'd be voting for Trump?
Yeah.
But that's the core of your disagreement?
So, there's a lot more than that. Here, take a look at this. This is as I feel like this is campaign ending. I feel like this.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, it's funny to me.
The manufacture
of
fake images to trick people into voting for someone is, look, this is the open door. Ron DeSantis decided to be the person to stick his foot over the line and say, we will manufacture fake images to win.
I mean, they do say that they're fake. Like
No.
But people would probably miss
They
this.
don't say it's fake.
No, it says right there, fake.
This is an image calling out the fake graphics. They wrote real life Trump, and this is NPR circling the fake images to call them out.
Right.
They ran it as real life Trump. Now, I understand if you scrutinize the images, you can tell they're fake. This one says Mahehap Wems. Okay, yeah, that's not English, and it's under the White House emblem. But when it's in a video that's a minute long, and you pass this, I've already had people tell me that they didn't realize it was fake. Right. And I've already people say, I talked to my parents about it. They thought it was real. And so what the DeSantis fans are doing now is they're like, can you believe Tim actually thought those were real? Like, dude, if you want to play that game and call me stupid and insult me for calling out DeSantis' campaign for doing this, I literally don't care. It changes nothing of my moral stance that this stepped well over the line. Now, I got to be honest. You go back in time to the first time a politician lied. And people were probably like, can you believe you actually lied to us? And we know that's bad. And I hate all of it. But this is the next level. This is like, it's bad enough they're all lying.
Well, what's the core of your disagreement otherwise then? I mean, because if it's with COVID, I would say I'm more on Trump's side with that kind of stuff. I liked Operation Warp Speed. Look, I would have done a little differently for giving away government money for vaccines that we should have nationalized them, and the intellectual property should have been waived so that everybody could have had access to it also in the
publicly funded should be publicly owned.
I'm in favor of that, Tim. So, I mean, that's one thing that I think Trump is better. And look, just DeSantis is frankly an anti-LGBTQ demagogue. And that's where I think Trump's less dangerous than DeSantis. Okay.
Like he is, but I think it's more so the Florida legislature that's doing it. And then he's latching onto it. Because I think when it comes to real issues related to this stuff, he's mum.
He's been anti-wokeness is the center of his campaign.
Yeah, he Trump made that at the forefront of his campaign.
No, for sure. I like DeSantis
Trump wouldn't
in a lot of
even
ways.
send the National Guard against the Black Lives Matter rioters.
That's a different question. That's not wokeness. That's like crime and law and stuff. DeSantis, I think, is mostly surface level. I like a lot of his policies. I think
What do you like about his policies?
I mean, at the beginning of COVID, it wasn't particularly good, right? He did a lot of what everyone else did. But to be fair, I was very much like, I guess, I was very much, Thomas Massey didn't want to do this big spending bill. And I said, this is crazy. The economy, like, we don't know what's going on. There are people dying. We're seeing videos of people dying in the street. And so I think, hindsight being 2020, I look back and I'm like, I probably should not have just gone along with all of that. That was probably stupid. Ron DeSantis did initially, but then changed and said, you know what, this is not making sense. We're reopening. And I think that made a lot more sense.
It was also under extreme pressure. Like Andrew Cuomo was the most promoted governor in the country, and he was the most attacked.
So DeSantis did well in not the first, but he did well in reopening things back up.
But what policies do you like generally about him? I mean, besides the COVID stuff, what are the other policies like as governor? I mean, I think you think it's just the state legislature legislature that's putting together these anti.
I mean, look, think it's mostly
Tim,
them.
You said that there was a grooming event happening at Club Q, and that was after the shooting, right? Which is essentially kind of saying, well, look, they had it coming a little bit. I mean, no. you didn't say that, but that's the implication.
I actually said, how do we prevent these things from happening? If people, so I tweeted.
So you actually seem pretty aligned with DeSantis on the anti.
But I don't think it's him. I think it's the Florida legislature. And if DeSantis becomes president, you think Congress is going to vote for any of these things? As for the Club Q thing, I said, if people keep saying wood chippers, what did you think was going to happen, right? I am saying, stop saying these things.
Saying what?
People keep going online and going, wood chippers, wood chippers, wood chippers. You know what that means, right?
For who, though?
For groomers.
Right, okay.
And I'm like, what do you think is going to happen if you go online and keep calling for death? Like, don't do that. Stop that, right? We want to stop child abuse. We want to stop violence. That's what we want.
So that's why I hope you have dedicated so much of your program to talking about the Catholic Church. Because that is the institution in this country right now that is most associated with child abuse. Hands down. Queer people, gay people, trans people, that is not a thing. What is your definition of child abuse?
They're most associated, but they're actually not more abusive than any other religious institution, and they're not nearly as abusive as.
But no. I want to stay on this, and I also just
where are the books at? Where did they get moved to?
Tim, though, what policies about DeSantis do you like in terms of what he's running on for president?
Culture war stuff mostly, but I think COVID policy was
plug
good.
For the show.
Oh yeah.
Right, but what's the culture war stuff that you like?
So yes, but the reason why I've not been so last year I was like, I think DeSantis is probably better for one simple reason.
No, what stuff do you like now? What do you like that he's running on?
Yeah, culture war stuff predominantly.
But can you expand on that notion?
I think you want me to like pull up specific.
I mean, I don't know. It's like you said that you like certain things, that you're leaning more towards Trump because of AI images. I would hope that there's a little bit more substance to your disagreement.
Well, but every time I try and bring it up, you just ask me the same question again.
Because you're not answering my question.
So I'm trying to.
Okay, go ahead.
So now where was I before you jumped back in? First, the culture war stuff is obvious, right? Parental rights and education bill. Yes, that one's fairly obvious. I don't know about the Disney stuff. That's kind of absurd. What I was going to say is, let's go back in time to why I said I was for Ron DeSantis in the first place and why where I'm at now is not. The first thing was last year, I was having a conversation with the Daily Wire crew, and I said, Trump is brash. Many people don't like him. And he won't shut up about 2020. He's a sore loser. Ron DeSantis, at the very least, is dry and can get us something better than, say, Joe Biden.
I know, but I'm still not really hearing a specific policy.
Right. So his COVID policy was correct. Okay.
Wait, but you just said something with the beaches that you don't like the closure.
You can bring it over.
Like his presidential platform. Like,
I don't know if he's got one. Does he?
Okay, so you're.
I've not been on board with him. So we can look at what happened.
And you said parental rights. I'm curious what you mean by that.
Yeah, like
I'm in favor of parental rights. Right? Like I want parents to be able to, if their child is transitioning, to be able to work with their doctor with a plan and make sure that children are not being driven to suicidal ideation and that parents aren't restricted by the state.
Let's talk about one of his policies.
Okay, go ahead. I don't want parents to be restricted from the state from giving healthcare to their children.
If I open this book on YouTube, the stream will get taken down.
Okay.
Did you ever read this book?
No.
This book is in middle schools in Florida. Ron DeSantis had it removed. That's one simple policy he did. That's very good. You've never seen this book?
I've heard about it.
Have you ever looked inside of it?
No, but I mean, I don't believe in censorship.
If I show you a picture of a blowjob, would you be offended?
I mean,
can I show you a picture of a blowjob?
I wouldn't be offended. I mean, I think
disavow.
That, honestly, do you know, Tim, that the more children learn about sexual education in the way that's productive and done in schools, the less likely they are to be sexually abused because they know what is good and what is bad.
I can't show this image on YouTube.
Do you hear me though about that?
So I think
the more children
the issue
learn
is
about sexual education, the less likely they are to be victims of pedophilia and rape.
I think the issue is you're confusing sexual education with kink. Right. So I'm looking at this right now. I can't even hold it up because I can't point it at the camera. And I don't understand why school children should be taught how to perform blowjobs for an autoandrophile.
I don't believe they're being taught that.
Why was this book
banned?
Why was this
I
book
don't.
in
I
grade
don't
school?
really know. Again,
Amazon
because
said-
this is
right,
another
so-
case-by-case example.
No. You
where
asked
I
me
am
about
not
what
in
Ron
favor
DeSantis
of censorship.
did. You asked me what Ron DeSantis did that I liked.
That he banned genderqueer.
That he's removing pornographic and kink books from middle schools is a very, very good one. And I would.
Well, for me, my politics are a little broader than that, Tim. I gotta say.
So, listen. If your argument to me is that I or anyone else should support your politics because you want to show blowjobs to children, you're going to lose.
Well, I don't think that is a policy done by teachers in this country. I think that this
book was in schools in Florida, which is why
there are a ton of books that are in a ton of schools. I don't believe in censorship. That's not my bag, buddy.
So you think children should have Playboy?
I don't really think so. No,
What about
because
Hustler?
that's pornography.
So you think a
Tim,
blowjob?
You're in favor of censorship.
Yes,
You are.
absolutely.
Oh, that's good to know.
If you watched the show, you'd know this.
Oh, you're okay. You're
We
pro
talk
censorship.
about how we're
I am not. I want children to be able to have all the information that they need in order to
including pornography.
No, that's not pornography.
If I show you this,
Whoa!
Did the power just go out?
Yeah, power just went out.
See, you try to
Are you kidding me?
You try to show it to her, and then it went out.
There you go.